All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I have been a little sick and actually have all the girls in my room right now. So, yeah, she did not say anything perfect. Make it sound like I'm a creeper here. I'm going to start over. No, fine. She laughed. She's real good. Okay, so we're going to look at three stocks today. Okay, we're going to look at Rumble, DWAC, and PHUN. Okay, and if you watched the last video on Rumble, it was all about the 200 moving average. All right, I know 8% doesn't seem like a lot. It's actually a very high number, believe me, right? But wasn't like a 30 banger, 40 banger, anything crazy, but it was a very, very powerful and important line to, or candle to say the least here over that line right there. With, excuse me, with PHUN and DWAC, look, it has been and it will continue to be all about these upcoming political events. All right, today is obviously one, but it's not one that I think I care about much. I think it's all gonna be on this Thursday. All right, and I will give you my opinions of day before, day after, as well as what I think is a little more important, this literally more than 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks and 2 days worth of nothing. And to me, that's a little scary. All right, so we'll talk about all that and more shortly. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's only one, no, I think there's a couple. Yeah, there are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online, comment good or bad. Look, I'm telling you, anything you can do helps me so much, especially if you can click that share button. Otherwise, hey, I am so grateful that you're at least here, all right? So let's get into it. And, you know, it's funny because Rumble, to me, started off as a Trump stock, right? That's really why I started looking at this thing. It's really why I've started flipping this thing. And you can see the 16th and the 22nd, 23rd do correlate pretty well. Sorry to click like that, right? The 15th was the January one. And then the January 15th was of the first Republican one. The January 23rd was the second one. Those line up with that pop and pop that we saw, right? So this initially definitely got me, you know, Trump thinking, right? I could have said that a little better, but I think the difference between this one and the other two, and I'll talk about them later, but just in case you came for here, look, these went a lot more just horizontal, right? For 2 weeks, all it did was nothing, right? And hey, in this case, it's better to go horizontal than drop, right? But that's not what Rumble did. Rumble actually kept going up even though it had that lull, right? And that's how I started this video too, right? I'm gonna jump back up to the top. We're gonna see another one, right? And just the fact that this one did well on the last one makes me believe a little bit more here, all right? Coming into the technicals, look, break all 5 and fly is a very common rhyme you're going to hear me say if you're new, or you've heard it a billion times by now if you're here for a while, right? But that's what we've been hunting here. Look, the opposite is lose all 5 and die, and you can see it clearly loses all 5 as high as $9, and it goes as low as what, 3 something. I mean, lose all 5 and die. It doesn't sound good when I say that one only, but like, yeah, this thing knows how to lose them all and die. We are now hoping that this thing knows how to break them all and fly, all right? The one real truth about Rumble is it's never actually done that, all right? Even in this, I'm gonna zoom in because I looked. Give me a sec. Look here. So obviously we go from down here to all the way up here, and it'd be really easy for me to just say, oh, look, that's my rhyme, that thing works, right? But I didn't like this, okay? One more time, yes, the 200 was down here, it goes all the way up there. Like, I'm not going to do that percent in my head, right? But $5 on $11 stock, that's almost a 50% move, right? My issue with it was just, it wasn't a good, like, green up. You know what I mean? It's a nice use of the 8 and the 20 to just bounce on up until it eventually loses it, right? But yeah, this moment and this moment, I actually don't consider any of them break them all and fly, okay? I like these 2 days back to back. This is a decent green candle. It's over, because like, look, we have two different greens. There's a filled in green where it opens up here at 712 and it closes down here at 6 something. I don't like a stock that opens at 7 and closes at 6. No, that's not a good day. Most people probably lost. Yeah, it was better than down here to up here. I get it. That's why it's green. But that's not as good as this guy who opens down here at 680-ish and then closes up here at 7. That's good. I'm cool with that. What matters more is the confirmation, and to me, that's not too shabby. All right, obviously, I would have loved a bigger candle, that one or that one. Obviously, would have been a nicer confirmation, but hey, this is roughly the 4th biggest one in this string, right? This is 1, this is 2, that's probably 3, and then I would say that that's 4th. So hey, not too bad overall, right? Now, granted, there's only 7, so it's kind of on the other side of the 50% line, but yeah, I still like this, all right? I would echo that I'd like just a little more, but like in some ways, I think that is actually decent confirmation. I think we are now sitting at a because like I didn't draw these lines, right? I normally would draw something around here. It was just a little too close to the 200 to do it, right? But we've now come to a very nice green, red, green moment, right? And again, if we can get over that 811, there's a good little just fast up and down, fast up and down, fast up and down, right? Maybe $9 will do something. But I like these two lines, this 811 to 890. Just hold that $9 in your back pocket, right? But Rumble, this seems like it wants to go. That is a real nice MACD in the positive as it continues to diverge, right? Like it looks a little parallel maybe, but diverge just means lines going away. And I think I see some lines going away as I zoom out. I for sure see some divergence on the RSI. 77's a little high, all right? 77 is a little high. And as I just zoom out, there's not a lot of moments where this thing has even like, can I draw a line right here? I think I can. I think I've done that before. Look, that's a 78. We're obviously under that right now, right? And as I look, there's really only 1, 2, and then this kind of doesn't count because that was like the first crazy volume, right? But there aren't too many days that go into the high 80s, all right? And to me, that's a little worrisome, but I think good volume, a positive MACD, and over the moving averages might, you know, make me believe we can run a little hotter than we have in the past, all right? Because there are stocks that go as high as like 80s, like low 90s, right? And, you know, one at a moment before they couldn't, right? So, yeah, I think if I had to give a good little guess here, I think we're going to go over 811 and then come back down. What are you if I click right here? I think there's a shot that this will come to 840 and then maybe come back down to 811 and then hopefully go for that 9 to 989 that I actually have listed right here, all right? So I'm liking Rumble. I am. And like, I think what I really like is that this might, look, this could still get a boost from Trump come the 8th. I haven't really talked about that too much on this one because again, I'm kind of liking Rumble almost even outside of Trump and then kind of call Trump a nice little juice of or cherry on top, whatever, right? But yeah, I do not want to talk about like I'm hearing a lot of people talk about all-time highs on this thing and like getting over that magic $10 SPAC number, right? Like, look, this is still $7. There's at least 2. I kind of mentioned that third $9-ish resistance, right? But we still got a ways to go between here and 10. All right, so keep things in check. Slow and steady ain't that bad. It did that one turtle pretty good in that famous race, right? So Rumble, I'm liking it on the daily. Where are we on the weekly? We're marching to the 100. We are marching to the 100. Where is this 100? Look at that. 870. I kind of said 9. I don't know if that's a little lower than I was thinking, but yeah, I can see this 870 being an interesting resistance. Maybe that'll hold it up, not that $9 number I said, but either way, I don't think I want to draw an extra line in this channel. I think I like this channel as is. So Rumble, let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Otherwise, let's move into PHUN. Okay, PHUN. Oh, you closed a little nicer than I thought. What happened the last 15 minutes? That's what happened the last 15 minutes. Woo! All right. Look, I'm not a fan of letting you know if I'm in a stock or not. I am actually still in the stock right now. I've been jumping in and out of this thing every now and then, okay? PHUN. Okay, it's funny. No pun intended. I normally don't put resistance lines that close to each other. All right, generally, I like to find the one that matters and then, you know, play accordingly. This one I had both, and it kind of seems like having both wasn't that bad a move here. All right, so one of the lines was based on the initial giant pop on the 16th. One of the lines was based on this like pretty bad, like the only horizontal, I don't even know what to call it, right? But this July to August candle movement in 2023. All right, so that's where the two lines came from. And yeah, I mean, this thing has been struggling a little bit with the two lines, but hey, it's at least working its way up to that. All right, I liked today's candle. Look, I swear I did not know this happened in the last 15 minutes. All right, I for real didn't. I thought we were going to close a little lower, and lo and behold, that last 15 minutes completely changed what I expected to say on PHUN. All right, so let's take a step back and let's talk about Trump a little bit, okay? Today is a Democratic primary. All right, I'll be real honest with you. I actually don't know the difference between a primary and a caucus. If someone can let me know that, I'll sound a little smarter and tell everyone else on the next video. All right, but there is a Democratic one today, and to me, I think this will only do good. I think they will mention Trump. I think there will be like, there's no way no one's going to use the name Donald Trump in that entire primary. I find that completely hard to believe, right? I think what really matters will be the 28th, and oops, sorry, I keep clicking on that. And yeah, the goal really is between now and then that this thing makes another move. All right, my goal is tomorrow, actually, especially because the day ended better, right? Like, I'm telling you, I wasn't gonna come be like bearish, right? Obviously, I'm still pretty long term, not long term. I don't know how to say the words, right? But if let me okay, I'm thinking about a couple things. I'm sick. Sorry. Let's take a step back. First things first. I'm hoping today's Democratic primary is what gets us over 43, is what helps us fill this red, and maybe takes us as high as 50, okay? My line is up here at 59, and I'm not going to change that line because you can actually see it right here. There's a solid month at that line as opposed to what, 3 days, 4 days at this 50, 51 cent line. I do think, though, I would put my first expectation to 51 cents with that 59 after, all right? I am hoping that happens, and again, to me, that's going to come from someone saying something, someone asking something about Trump, making everyone, again, this is a Democratic one. You shouldn't even be thinking about the other dude. You're here for me, and like, no, right? So that's my expectation, all right? I think the really, really important thing with PHUN is, and I think this is a great view of it. Look, after this week, after the 8th, there's absolutely nothing for 2 weeks. All right. The last time around, so I'm going to go back, right? The last time around, there was a 23rd, right? So hold on, I'm trying to do, yeah. It was from the 23rd down to the 8th. Again, a 2-week period, right? This thing went horizontal for the 2 weeks. I'm expecting it to either go horizontal or potentially down. That is my expectation, all right? And I really think that that might lead some people to selling on Thursday, all right? I doubt I'm going to hold as much as I am come on the 9th, probably going into those next couple weeks. Now, again, if the technicals tell me something different, you know I'm going to adjust accordingly, right? But I'm expecting when nothing happens from right? The 9th, the 10th, that whole week, most of that next whole week, right? Like it's going to be hard to expect things, right? So for now, I think my actual plan, obviously, again, if the technicals don't tell me anything else, I'll adjust, right? But I think the goal is let's just get over 43 and let's come to 59, all right? I think the next line I'll draw will be right here, and that's enough. Again, listen, I know people are throwing out these crazy numbers. I know that this thing has been this high back in the day, right? Like, I know all this stuff, right? Listen, if you can go from 40 cents to 70 cents, that's so good, all right? And when you set your expectations lower and then it does better, oh, okay, great. But if you're here expecting $4, $5, $25, $40, and you make a move from 40 to 70 cents and it, goes back down maybe, right? And like you had a chance to bank it, right? So that's why I'm always a big fan of like just keep things in perspective, all right? So I think what I'm going to do is combine this with DWAC because I really don't want to repeat the same thoughts, all right? Listen, I like what we did here. Did this thing do the exact same 15 minutes? No, it didn't. It wasn't as dramatic. And I remember seeing DWAC and like thinking it was going to hold. Look, I like what we're seeing here. All right. We are using the 8 moving average like a champion. All right. Like there is a lot to like with that. I am hoping, like I just said, that there's some Trump essence drop today. I'm hoping that there's some good excitement, some rumor buying. Buy that rumor, baby. Buy that rumor. All right. And then, hey, people tend to sell the news after, right? So again, just in case you kind of fast forward to see where DWAC started, after the 8th, look, there's one today, right? It's Democratic. After the 8th, there's absolutely nothing until the 24th. You can see it right here. 1 full week, 2 full weeks, and then a couple days after. This stock also went completely horizontal, and you can actually say this thing actually dropped pretty badly, right? It's now kind of getting back to where it was, and it's still actually not there just yet, right? So this thing did drop, held the lines well, but, right? So just I would start thinking about after the 8th more than I would what to do for the 8th. You know what I mean? So I love the volume way more here, though. That's, I think, the biggest difference between PHUN and DWAC is I think that the volume is just way more scattered in one way with PHUN. DWAC looks like there's significantly more buying than selling. And man, accumulation's a strong thing, and it's hard to kill it, all right? So I don't think I want to zoom out too much, right? Yeah, good. No, we're not going to talk about 70-something. 57 is still the immediate high side target. I'm glad we're in this channel too, right? So, yeah, I think that's good here. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Otherwise, you know it. I appreciate you so much.